Now, Bev, we're sat in the lovely orangery here at Weldmar Hospice in Dorset. And what are we looking at here in front of us?
Well, it is a letter sent to Mr. Hollingsworth from Florence Nightingale.
Wow.
We found this during a house clearance. That is part of my role as area manager, to go and clear houses. And just as we were finishing in one room, I picked up a box, just an ordinary box, opened it up, and inside was like a photograph album, modern one, and I just flicked through it because I'm a bit of a scavenger, and this fell out. And amazing. I turned the envelope over, and it actually explained that it was from Florence Nightingale. And as you see, it is Florence Nightingale.
What did you feel when you opened it? Because it must have been amazing, because Florence Nightingale is the lady that's associated with nursing, isn't she?
Well, actually, it's like now. I get
You've
goose
got
pimples.
goosebumps.
I get goose pimples whenever I talk about it, because it's such a piece of history as well.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so, what's the majority of the letter talking about here? Because I can see that she's been invited to something.
Yeah, she was invited to an event, and she's explaining that she would like to have gone, but she can't. And the reasons why she can't is she says she's not very well, and also she's very concerned about putting in healthcare by introducing district nurses so that children are looked after properly.
I read somewhere in here that for 2 years she'd been at home unwell, but throughout the whole letter she's talking about helping other people and their sickness.
She just mentions it shortly, that like you say, that she's literally been in her room for 2 years as well. Obviously she was quite ill herself. And
the letter also talks, like you say, about beginning of life care in feeding and clothing children, but then also end of life care as well, which is what this charity is all about.
Yes, definitely. She mentions about making sure there's there's district nurses being trained to go out into the community to look after the very sick. So yeah, it's very much the same as what we do here. We don't only just have the inpatient unit, we now have community nurses that go out and look after the very poorly. You know, she actually developed how nurses are now. You know, obviously we know her for the efforts she did during the wars, but it's the work she did after the wars as well, to bring nursing and the care for everyone. And even up to now, you know, the NHS, you know, it probably started with her bringing help to the sick and needy.
Yeah, and from the front line to now still at home and amongst us all, which is lovely. So I suppose you might be interested in the value. I know to us it's more important because it's Florence Nightingale, and value doesn't necessarily come into it, but it does because it would help raise money for the charity, wouldn't it?
It would do.
So
yes.
Have you any ideas what you think it might be worth?
No, you never really know with these things. I suppose it goes down to who's interested in it.
That's right. I think really with historical letters and signatures of famous people, it comes down to the content and why they were written. And I have to say, it doesn't mention soldiers on the front line, which that would bring a big price. This one, I would imagine, you've got a lot of writing here by Florence Nightingale. It's not just a signature, it's a whole letter. So I would imagine it could fetch maybe up to £1,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Well done you for finding it, and this is one of many things that you've discovered, I'm sure, that are interesting. So keep on going.
Quite honestly, it's the people of Dorset that offer us the clearance of their houses, of their loved ones, that bring up these wonderful items.
Yeah. Isn't it wonderful though that this was discovered and can be looked at and possibly sold to raise money now and not just forgotten? Because it's such a lovely piece of history, isn't it?
Yeah, and I say it just gives you goose pimples. I love it.